Welcome back to G.A.M.E.R United. I'm your host, G.A.M.E.R here, and today we're going to be talking about Dead Space Remake 2023 because as of a couple hours ago, I am officially done with the game. I have fully beaten the main story, and, well, I have a lot of things I want to say about it, which is why we're going to be doing these new type of videos. No rankings, no ratings. We're just giving you my honest thoughts and my overall opinion on the game. That way we can maybe talk about it, I can maybe recommend, and I will be summing it up in a category at the very end, but we will get to that later. So let's get started talking about Dead Space Remake, and right off the bat I do have to say I am a huge fan of the original release back in 2008, played it on the 360, and so with the remake I've been very excited to see, number one, what they do differently, how they make it worthy of a remake, and honestly just to play it again with modern technology. And I have to say, blunt force here, they absolutely knocked it out of the park. This is undoubtedly, right off the bat, probably one of the best remakes I've ever played. Outside of Final Fantasy VII Remake, this is probably one of the best ever. And that's for one main reason, is I think the original Dead Space is near masterpiece, easily top 3 best horror game of all time. And somehow, some way, EA found a way to improve on just about everything in this remake. And that's what a remake should be, and that's what a remake should do, and that's what happened. And so I have to give them kudos, and I have to give them props, because they absolutely delivered on everything the game should have been. Number one, the technology. It is a visual improvement, and my gosh, does it look so pretty, so good. The lighting, the different textures, the amount of detail on, you know, the walls and the corridors, the doors, the desk, all the things on the monsters. It's just absolutely stunning what this game was able to do. Out in space, you really just, oh man, they capture the atmosphere to a T, and that is absolutely one of the best things about the remake is, yeah, it's visual improvements. Number two, my favorite thing about this remake is the way they change things. The way they change things is so smart and such a genius move that it really does warrant the remake. Basically my example of that is, in horror games, the big stigma is, you know, you try to predict things so you don't get jump scared. You're like, always like, oh, I saw that coming from a mile away. Well, if you've played the original, that's kind of what you're going into this one like. Yep, I know what's going to happen. I know this monster's going to pop out at this certain time, blah, blah, blah. It's really easy to predict. But what they decide to do is they don't change the segments, they alter them to the point where it's unpredictable once again. There were multiple times when I expected a certain like loud noise or explosion to happen, and it didn't happen, and instead something else took its place. For example, there's one part where I knew there was going to be an explosion, and so I walked forward fully expecting the explosion to take place. It didn't happen. So I went on with the game. I took like 10 steps forward, the lights turned off, and I was completely unexpecting that, because it was the same exact place, it was the same exact outcome. It's just the way they did it is just an alter to make the horror experience fresh and new, but also keep the exact same faithfulness to the original. And I think that's so brilliant, so just the absolute right move to do. So I definitely have to prop them when it comes to the overall remake design of the game. In terms of, you know, the gameplay and story, I mean, it is basically just the original, especially in terms of story. I will say they gave Isaac a lot more, and I definitely was able to relate more with Isaac in this one. But as far as the story goes, it's pretty much follows the exact same suit as the original. Gameplay, they definitely added in they definitely changed some features around from the original. I know the gravity arm has definitely changed. It's more like 2 now, Dead Space 2, but just in Dead Space 1. I don't exactly remember. I feel like they definitely added in more weapons. I felt like I found so many more weapons than I remember. It's been a while since I've played, so I don't exactly remember. But I feel like they added in so much, and I really just feel like overall the gameplay just flowed really smoothly all throughout, and it never got dull, it never got stale, it never got boring. Matter of fact, it was the absolute opposite. There was definitely that urge throughout my playthrough to keep on playing and keep on going. And that is something you love to see when it comes to games, so big pro for that. The next thing that I have to prop this game for, and we are talking about remakes, so that is going to be our main talking point throughout this video, is what things does the remake do that warrants its worthiness, and it's the extra content. Number one, there's New Game Plus at launch, which is a great addition. I love when games add New Game Plus because it just adds an extra option to keep on playing. They've added an alternate ending, which that is a perfect move to do for a remake. Add an alternate ending. Don't change the original ending, but you can add an alternate ending if you want to see that outcome. And it's just overall really good addition for a remake. It really helps the value of the game. But then other than that, they added in a couple more side quests, and just added in more collectibles, and it's just overall a bigger and honestly better game than the original. I mean, if you love Dead Space 1, you're gonna love this game. If you haven't tried Dead Space 1, this is the absolute perfect way to do it. And I would even say if you didn't like Dead Space 1, still give this one a try, because I feel like, yes, there's not major changes to where it's going to be a completely different game, but we're talking about a completely different time period now with much updated technology, and with the changes, I feel like it could end up being a smoother experience for you. Now, if you didn't like the gameplay, if you didn't like the whole theme of the game, then yeah, you're probably still not going to like it. But if it was just things that you had issues with, they may have changed it and they may have fixed it. For me, this is easily, I mean, we're only in January, this game just came out, but to me, this is easily the best game of the year so far. It's my favorite game of the year so far. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy the way that this game turned out. It really delivered on everything I wanted. It gave me my Dead Space experience once again, better than ever. And yeah, to me, this is going in a category which I'm actually gonna explain, because I just realized I didn't explain it. The way we're gonna be doing these videos is I'm going to be putting every game we talk about into categories. I don't want to do ratings, I don't want to do rankings anymore, because I feel like that's just a little pushy, especially when it comes to opinions. I want to be more informative and just give overall consensus. So we're going to be splitting it up into 4 categories. I have the very top category would be a must play, the second category would be a recommend, the third category would be hit or miss, and the fourth category would be a pass, a skip, no go, whatever. Basically, you get the picture. For me, Dead Space Remake, it's going in a must play. I think this is absolutely just such a fantastic experience, brought to life once again. Motive, the developers, just did such a great job with the game, and they've actually stated they have more plans for Dead Space in the future. They just gotta talk to EA, so let's make it happen. Dead Space 4, Dead Space 2 Remake. Let's get more Dead Space, because this IP is awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like, leave a comment in the section down below provided, and please subscribe. I will be talking about Forspoken tomorrow. Definitely have a lot of things to say about that game, so I will catch you all then. G.A.M.E.R out. Peace.